Hi guys, welcome back. The 150cc segment was actually being taken by two very reliable bikes, which was the Yamaha FZ version 3 and the Honda Unicorn 150. But in 2020, when it was time for these bikes to be converted to BS-6 standard, both the companies did update them in a very similar manner. And what it is that they basically just changed the engine. And here Yamaha equipped the FZ with a 150cc BS-6 engine and named the bike FZ version 3 or FZ-S version 3 BS-6, and Honda on the other hand completely changed the engine because they had to re-engineer their carburetor one to fuel injection. And what happened is that Honda this time went for a 160cc engine and named the bike Unicorn BS-6 or the 2020 Unicorn. So now that we have both of them available in dealerships, which one is the better one of the two and which one should you buy is a big question. Well, this video is all about that. It's the comparison of the 2020 Honda Unicorn BS-6 and the Yamaha FZ version 3 BS-6. We have a structure for our comparison videos, and if you have watched our comparison videos, you might already know it. Well, we have divided the video into 5 factors, which are these, and that helps to get a more insight of the bike's differences. And let's start things with the design and build quality. Now here, like I said, since the engine is the only thing that's changed, the design of both the bikes are very familiar. FZ version 3 is the sporty themed one, while the Unicorn is the classic style one. For instance, take the headlight. The FZ gets this aggressive looking LED headlight which does stand out, but the Unicorn has a plain simple headlight with a glossy visor and a chrome crown. And here this Unicorn headlight is still halogen, but now it's a DC headlight. And when we hit the road at night, the better one from the two is the LED headlight of the FZ, but this time Unicorn's headlight is actually not bad because of the more even illumination, and in fact it's almost tying up with the headlight of the FZ. And here with both these headlights you can get through pitch dark riding conditions. Then checking the handlebar, well, the FZ here has a straight type handlebar with all the needed switch controls like the dim, bright and pass light as a single switch along with the indicator toggle and horn on the left side, and on the right side there is the engine kill switch as well as the self start switch. Now with the Unicorn the handle is the U-shaped one, but the switch controls are identical to the ones in the FZ. But here with the Unicorn, the pass light control is not integrated with the dim bright switch, but instead it's a separate control, and by the way, finally we get an engine kill switch in the Unicorn. Well, that's great, but checking the instrument console might make you feel disappointed with the Unicorn because even with this new version, it's the same old 3-circle analog setup which shows the bare minimum stuff. The FZ on the other hand has the negative LCD instrument panel, and it's the same one seen in the 2019 FZ, and here the info shown since it's a digital panel is much more than what we get from the Unicorn. There is the speed, RPM meter, fuel gauge, 2 trip meters, clock, etc. Now here since it's a digital panel, you might have doubts about its readability, and this one does display stuff with enough brightness and hence you won't face issues while reading the info shown even during a bright sunny day. Now let's check the tanks of both these bikes, and firstly both have very massive tank structure for bikes in this segment. The FZ gets more bulges and curves with the small FZ branding graphics on the side of the tank, and also since the variant showcased here is the FZ-S, there is this chrome section on the tank from the front, but if you go for the normal FZ then you will be missing that. And with the Unicorn, its tank has always been a key attraction for the bike. It's simple yet elegant, and that's what I always feel when I see the Unicorn's tank. The tank just has the 3D Honda logo and that makes it attractive. And for the tank capacity, both the bikes have the same capacity tank which is 13 liters. Now moving to the rear section, well here Unicorn's taillight is the same old one which we are very familiar with, and here you also get a grab bar for the pillion which is a single body colored unit, and it is a comfortable one for the pillion. And with the FZ, I'm not a fan of this small taillight, but I do like the pillion grab bar which has this matte texture and it is a very functional one. Now with the FZ, you get a rear tire hugger which is a good add-on, and also there is an undercall for the FZ which does give more protection for the underside of the bike. And please do note that the Unicorn does miss out with both these features. And finally with the exhaust, I guess there is no need to specifically point out anything because the exhaust in the FZ is the mid-chip one which is so much advanced in design compared to the plain circular one in the Unicorn. And if you want to take a listen to the exhaust note of both these bikes, here it is. So after checking the design, you might feel like you just went through a round over the old versions of both these bikes, right? Well, that's the truth. There isn't much new stuff on the design side for both these bikes, and here the FZ is still the more sportier bike with better features, while the Unicorn is still the simple and elegant one with just the basic things. And also with this new Unicorn, the indicators did change in design and now it has this flexible design. Well, if you want to choose one based on design, it's basically coming down to your preference. And here from the design side, things are very individual centric, and hence let's move to the second factor, which is the specifications. This factor is to give an insight of what both these bikes are equipped with. So let's first pull out the engine spec, and as you can see, the Unicorn is powered by a new 162.7cc 4-stroke PGM-FI BS-6 engine, while the FC gets a 149cc air-cooled 4-stroke PGM-FI BS-6 engine. And yet because of this difference in engine capacity, the Unicorn gets the slight upper hand in terms of max power and max torque generated. Now checking the body dimensions, the Unicorn is the bigger bike in every aspect except the width. And when we check the tire measurements, the FC actually has the better tires in both the front and rear with significant width difference in the rear tire. And also when we check the brakes, here also the FC gets the advantage of dual disc with single channel ABS, while the Unicorn like the FC is equipped with ABS in the front, the rear brake is drum. And finally with the suspensions, the Unicorn has a telescopic front one and the good old monoshock rear one. And with the FC, the front like the Unicorn is a telescopic fork and the rear one is a 7-step adjustable monocross suspension. So that's all for the specifications, and after checking it, well, things looks like it's jumping back and forth. There are some things which are better with the Unicorn, and in some areas the FC has the advantage. But like I always say, to clear such confusions, we have a third factor, which is the ride quality and comfort. We'll start things with the FC version 3 BS-6, and here this new 149cc engine has better punch than the BS-4 version of the FC version 3. You can feel that extra thump in the way the bike accelerates, and here the speed gain has very slightly improved. Now about the engine refinement, it's pretty good and the ride quality is impressive for a speed range from 0 to 85 km/h. I mean, in that speed range, there is literally no vibration or disturbance from any parts, and I totally loved the ride experience in that speed range. But pushing beyond that, well, the engine does show a bit of stress, but still you can hit the 100 plus mark in a slower pace than what it was to hit the 85 mark. Now with the Unicorn BS-6, I think Honda has worked out a good plan here. They had to update the engine, and instead of making a 150cc new engine, I think they made a new 160cc one, because then this can be used in some of the other 160cc bikes. Well, this is what I think, and it doesn't matter whether it's true or not, because in the end, it's actually us who benefits, and here the outcome from this change is good. This new engine, like the old classic Unicorn one, is very refined and smooth, and on top of that, the performance has pretty significant improvements. The extra punch could easily be felt, and here by keeping the acceleration chart linear, Honda did manage to give the Unicorn a very satisfactory speed gain experience. You can extract that extra punch by throttling a bit hard, and here the best ride quality was for a speed range from 0 to 90 km/h. Now with the Unicorn, pushing beyond that doesn't show much engine stress, and also hitting the 100 plus mark was quicker compared to the FCS version 3. Now both the bikes have a 5-speed gearbox with the first down and the rest up pattern, and here the gearbox used in both the bikes are good with moderately smooth shifts, and both didn't show any gear missing issues. Now based on the ride quality and performance, the new Unicorn does have the upper hand than the new FC, but the FC does pull things back with the ride control and safety. The FC has always been the bike that had the nimble and precision control, and here things are the same. This bike is one of the best in terms of ride control. Because of the good tank hold and much easier handle response, the FC does offer better ride control and handling compared to the Unicorn. Well, even with the Unicorn, you can get through traffic or make a sharp U-turn, but with the FC, all of this can be done quicker and easier. And here also, since the FC has more chunkier tires with better gripping, it also has improved cornering compared to the Unicorn. You can take turns at higher speed in the FC, and also since the FC is equipped with better brake offerings than the Unicorn, it also does have slightly improved braking performance. Now the braking performance difference is not very drastic, but still there is that slight advantage in that for the FC. But then Unicorn still has some key things under its sleeve, and that's seen when you move to the ride comfort side. Unicorn always had the reputation of being the best family bike, and here the new Unicorn maintains that reputation. The wide and long seat with good cushioning paired with upright riding posture and also the best suspension combo in the segment does give the Unicorn the best ride comfort. Let it be the rider or the pillion, both will surely enjoy the seating comfort and also the suspension quality. No matter if it's a short city commute or a long ride, or even if you want to go through some bad riding conditions, you will feel comfortable in the Unicorn. Now with the FC, the riding posture is not very sporty, not very upright, but it's somewhere in between, and for the seat, it's a good one with enough width and length and also adequate cushioning. And about the suspensions, they're good quality ones, which does take the stress and strain off, but they're slightly on the stiffer side. But still, overall this new FC is also a comfortable bike, and long rides or short rides are possible with it, and also if you take it through bad riding conditions, it can also be done. But from the two, there is no denying the fact that the one with the better ride comfort is the new Unicorn. And also, by the way, the underside of both the bikes didn't give any troubles, even though the better ground clearance was offered by the Unicorn. And if in case you're wondering about the seat height, the FC seat height is 790mm and the Unicorn's is 798mm, and here even though for me both were comfortable with my legs reaching the ground, I feel the FC will suit for riders with height range from 5 feet to 6 feet, while the Unicorn will suit for riders with a height range from 5 feet 4 inches and above. And for your reference, my height is 5 feet 10 inches. Now from this factor, we got the clearer picture of the strength and weaknesses of both these bikes. The Unicorn has advantage with the ride quality, performance and comfort, while the FC does offer better ride control and safety. This factor did give us more insight, but now it's time to move to the fourth factor, which is the mileage. Well, here we did do an approx mileage calculation with both these bikes in different riding scenarios, and in that, the Unicorn BS-6 did give a mileage in the range from 53 to 55 km per liter, and the FC version 3 BS-6 did give a mileage in the range between 51 to 53 km per liter. Here there is slight upper hand with the Unicorn in terms of mileage, but it's just very small, and during normal day-to-day use, you might not even notice it much. And also, by the way, these tests were done in different riding conditions, and also the calculations were approximate. And also for you, the mileage might vary because mileage totally depends on the riding conditions and also on riding pattern. And now let's check the last and final factor, which is the price. Well, here, first with the Unicorn, there is only one version and its present ex-showroom pricing is 98,360 Indian rupees. And with the FC, well, you can go for either the standard FC version 3 BS-6 or the FCS version 3 BS-6, and with them, the difference are just aesthetically. The present ex-showroom pricing of the FC version 3 BS-6 is 1,01,754 Indian rupees for the two color options available, and with the FCS there are 5 color options available, and these are the ex-showroom pricings of the different color choices. So here in the pricing area, no matter the variants or the colors, the FC is the pricier bike of the two. Well, I guess that's everything for this very detailed comparison. Both these bikes are great offerings, but actually comparing it with the BS4 versions, price hike has happened pretty steeply, especially with the Unicorn. But to be frank, I feel even though there is price hike, it's good that we did move on to BS-6 standard. It's a much cleaner option for the environment. And here from these two bikes, the decision can be done by telling all the things that you prioritize. If you want a sporty and aggressive design with better features, excellent ride control, and better safety, then I guess you might be leaning towards the FC version 3 BS-6. But if you prefer classic design, better performance, improved ride quality and comfort, and also a lesser price tag, well then you should be looking at the Unicorn. Both of these bikes does work for the purpose of short and long commutes, and therefore making a decision should solely depend on what matters to you the most. For me, it was a bit of a complicated thing. I like aggressive design over a classic one, and I was tempted towards the FC version 3 BS-6, but that engine performance and also the improved comfort with lesser price tag of the Unicorn finally pulled me towards it. But I would love to know which one from the two is your pick. Please leave that in the comment section below, and don't forget to hit the like button, and also do subscribe to the channel. Well, that's all for this video. See you again in the next one. Till then, bye, and also stay home and stay safe.